am Usanko, the head SpiritSwap AMA guy, and with me we have the Ola Finance. You're the head guy, right? Head of Ola Finance.
No, I'm a business development manager. The founders are busy at the moment, but I'm taking point on this one.
Yeah, even better, because you will know what's up. Yeah. So, can you introduce your team and yourself a bit before we move on to the project?
Sure, definitely. So, like I said, I'm a business development manager, and we have 3 founders on the team. We have David Yakira. He started researching blockchain technology in 2014 while getting a degree in math and physics, and while completing his PhD in computer science, he was doing research around Chainlink's random function generator. It's true randomness. And he joined a project called Orbs in 2017. They're a blockchain project as the head of research, and he's managed the team of developers there. So he's kind of heading our technical side. He's leading the development team along with Or. Or is a veteran programmer with over a decade of experience. He served in a prestigious unit in the Israeli Defense Force, responsible for the management and development of the Army's computer and network systems. If I hadn't mentioned it already, project is most of the team is based here in Tel Aviv in Israel, and the third founder is Oren, and he's been in crypto since, I think, 2014. Background of a lawyer and a CPA, external director at a NASDAQ traded company, and the co-founder of a crypto community management company. And he also joined Orbs in 2017 as a director of finance and business development, leading up some of their product development as well. So, the whole team is pretty well stocked on between having the crypto background, the business development, and computer science backgrounds. And really the origin story of Ola Finance came from DeFi Summer, when there was so many of these amazing liquidity mining opportunities, and a lot of the Ola Finance team wanted to engage in these liquidity mining opportunities and take advantage of these high yields, but they didn't feel super comfortable all the time buying the underlying token. They wanted to get the yields without having that full exposure, and at the time, a lot of the big name lending protocols, that we know today, Compound, Aave, etc. They have this highly gated approach that prevents these smaller cap, or not even smaller cap, but just even medium cap tokens from being listed on the lending network and being able to lend and borrow these tokens. And on the other hand, there are some lending networks that include these tokens in this kind of ever-growing list of supported tokens. I'm thinking, I guess, the cream model, where it's one long list. It's really one risk model, and that whole entire lending network is only as secure as the weakest token there. So through this, we saw an opportunity where basically there was a need for lending and borrowing services for tokens that weren't being serviced otherwise, but also in a way that would provide reduced risk to those tokens. So, for example, the SpiritSwap team, they might not want their Spirit token being listed with 25 other tokens where they feel strongly about all of them. So, the solution was Ola Finance, where we provide isolated lending networks that are designed and customized for each individual partner, so they can own their own lending network. They can decide which tokens are listed and customize it to their own risk tolerance, and offer lending and borrowing capabilities to their communities, built around their native token or whichever other tokens they want. So that's kind of the backstory of Ola and how we came to be.
Yeah.
And it's been doing well, pretty successful since then, I think.
Yeah. I've seen when I was I'm working at SpiritSwap, right? So had to basically do deep research about Ola Finance, even before setting up this AMA. It was pretty good to see what you guys have done and how many partnerships you had setting up for ApeSwap and SpiritSwap, etc. And see you guys grow in TVL and in the ideas and the protocols. Overall development was pretty good to see from my end.
Yeah, thank you. I think what we're doing here is pretty unique in the sense that we're providing lending as a service.
Yeah.
We want to make these strategic partnerships with strong projects like SpiritSwap, where not only do we build the lending network and we maintain it, but we stay partnered for the length of it, and we're working constantly with the SpiritSwap team and all of our partner teams to implement special feature requests that they're wanting, or just continue to develop the product to roll out new features that will help both the lending markets and the partners main project as well, whatever focus that might be, if it's a DEX or a stablecoin project, etc.
Let's move on to the SpiritSwap partnership end, because most of the people here are probably more inclined to our partnerships and SpiritSwap's and Ola Finance's well-being in unison. How did our partnership benefit us, and how did it start?
Good questions. As far as how it started, I'm a little hazy on the entire backstory here. This was actually before I was brought on the team. But I believe we made contact through Discord, and we got to talking with one of the community managers, who I think put us in touch with someone from the core team, and basically there was a recognition that offering lending and borrowing would be a great value add to SpiritSwap's initial product offering, and by partnering with Ola, of course you then gain the kind of the experts in the lending space to support that build out, and I believe that was the initial attraction, and since then I think we've been both very happy. We work closely together to develop new features, and there are some exciting things coming that I'm not authorized to alpha on, but it's coming, and it's gonna be great for the lending network and for the DEX and SpiritSwap ecosystem as a whole. We're very excited for it.
Yeah, probably seasoned DeFi and lending users may catch some alphas, conclude to some alphas on their own. But as the guy said, we are not privy to explaining these. Sorry, guys.
Maybe just a hint, so that it doesn't sound like I'm just speaking nonsense. But we're looking at basically lining up strategies between the lending network and the SpiritSwap ecosystem to boost capital efficiency and build some synergies between the two. So there's going to be really good flow back and forth between the two kind of ecosystems. But in reality, I'm hesitant to say that big two ecosystems, because it's all one. It's all the SpiritSwap ecosystem. So very excited for that.
Yeah, it was the bare bones partnership was really beneficial for us as well. Due to having lending and borrowing, and the Rainmaker program that you guys have been running with and we were running was really beneficial. Like it provided a lot of TVL and allowed people to like lend and borrow their spirit, which they didn't want to expose to impermanent loss and other stuff. So like it really helped us to be a one of everything DEX, right? You click the SpiritSwap, you see everything there is to see about the DEX and the DeFi. So like a pivotal stone of it is borrowing and lending. So it was really good to have you guys as a partner, and I'm really excited to see. Like I have not been given the whole story about the like future things you are mentioning, but as far as I've heard, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and to your point, with the Rainmaker lending and borrowing of the Spirit token, both have been incredibly successful. The initial deployment of the Rainmaker, where we started distributing Spirit tokens to both the lenders and borrowers of various markets, we did see that huge boost in TVL. We're now up to, I think, almost $7.5 million in the lending network, and which is great. And also we've seen like a lot of amazing demand for the Spirit token specifically. Like I think just in the last month or so, it was within the last month, there was this crazy time period where almost every token being deposited, Spirit token being deposited, was being borrowed. Everyone had these like amazing opportunities, to high yield opportunities. So it was the fact that was an opportunity for people to borrow Spirit token and take advantage of these high yield opportunities and farming opportunities. It is great that existed. So happy to provide the additional functionality to the Spirit token and any token listed, really.
The high profit farms you mentioned about, probably like the Solid Swap and like the Solid DEX and Solidly coming in and providing a lot of APRs basically to like Spirit pairs. Like speaking of those, let me segue to rainSpirit and how that came to life.
That's a big one. But also just laughing a little bit about the whole Solidly explosion of super high emissions and then a huge drop off or reduction in emissions. It was, what a crazy month. Now they're shutting off. But anyways, rainSpirit. Wow. Okay. So that's a big one. Essentially, rainSpirit was created with a greater vision of kind of transforming and changing the way that the current governance wars and bribing mechanisms are currently functioning. So rainSpirit, first of all, is one piece of what we're calling the Ola ecosystem, right? And it's a collection of products that's going to provide, transparency and increased efficiency to projects that are competing over bribes, that are looking to acquire voting power, and to the users. It's going to return profitability to the voters, really. So that's kind of the objective of the Ola ecosystem as a whole, and it's a multi-stage rollout where we're building towards this grand vision, which I will get to in just a moment. But at the core is the rainSpirit token. So what problems is the rainSpirit token really trying to address? First of all, there's kind of this sense of inefficiency in the current bribing mechanisms, where projects who want to acquire voting power, or at least direct voting power to their specific boosted farm, are offering 20,000, 30,000 think $40,000. I forget what the highest bribe so far.
Yeah, it was like 42690 because of like memes, right? It was the highest one yet.
Exactly, right. That's good memory. So, yeah, some crazy high bribes being pushed out in projects. But unfortunately, these bribers don't know how many votes they're going to get in return for the vote they're putting out. So that can be kind of a big issue because, a project can hope that enough voters flock to collect their bribes that, the cost per vote is low enough that it becomes worth it that they issued that bribe. But at the same time, maybe there's a lot of other projects offering bribes that week, so the voters are being more distributed across these other bribes, and now there's this chance of the cost per vote being really high because no matter what, the bribing project has already pushed that money out. They're not seeing it back. Yeah. So really, it comes down to a lack of clarity. They're not sure how many votes they're going to get for what they paid.
Yeah. Also, that's because things are a bit in the dark, right? Because there has been some other protocols that push the bribe wars to a hasty start with no UI and no proper setup. Basically, you get the bribe and send it to the people voting, and that can result in some problems. Basically, in Monday, our epoch ends in Wednesday or Thursday, depending on your time zone. You put $20,000 in bribe. You get people's votes, etc., etc. Then in the last day and last half day, some other protocol issues a 35K bribe, and that's votes flood in, and your bribe is suddenly useless, but you still have to pay the bribe. This will probably end in our V2 UI development, where we have the bribe UI, and it will be the vote change will not be flexible, but as of it is a problem right now.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, that rollout for V2 is going to be huge. It is such an issue where projects are waiting for that last minute to sneak in with a big bribe and kind of steal the spotlight. So the V2 will be huge for that. And this is exactly also the issue that we're trying to address as well. And the way we're doing it is rainSpirit. So typically, WinSpirit projects are using the voting power they acquire to boost their own farms, right? But rainSpirit, backed by Ola Finance, of course, well, we don't have specific farm. So what we do instead is we allow for this voting power that we're acquiring to be kind of sold off to projects in the form of packages. So what a project can do is each week they can approach us and they can purchase a package of 1 million votes from Ola Finance's voting power that we've accumulated. And each week there's a minimum price and there's a maximum price for this package of 1 million. And where the specific price falls within that minimum maximum price, it all depends. There's a formula behind it, and it's in the article we released about Angola pioneering the governance wars. Yeah. But essentially it's based off of the demand for voting power in that week. However, it cannot exceed a maximum price. Therefore, a project knows when they're purchasing this voting power, one, they know exactly how many they're going to receive towards their farm for that week, and they know the absolute maximum price they're going to pay. And oftentimes, it's lower than the maximum price, by the way. So this is introducing that layer of transparency I talked about. And on the other hand, there's the benefit for the rainSpirit holders, right? So while we're using this voting power, to help other projects, and essentially the money that they would have issued as bribe money is now being used to purchase packages. We're collecting this package purchasing money. We'll just call it, they're still bribes, I guess. So we're collecting these bribes, and we're distributing them to rainSpirit holders. So unlike other WinSpirit tokens, which I don't believe any others are distributing the value of bribes to holders, rainSpirit allows you to collect the bribes as if you had voted for yourself. And the way we're doing that is through bribe pools. So you have your classic, rainSpirit staking pool, which gets funded by the weekly Spirit emissions that go towards in-Spirit holders. So we take that Spirit and we use it to buy back rainSpirit, and we distribute that rainSpirit to the stakers in the staking contract, right? But next to the staking contract, there's also bribe pools, and bribe pools allow a rainSpirit holder the option of staking in the normal contract and receiving rainSpirit rewards, or staking in one of these bribe pools and receiving the tokens, the bribes that we had collected from the previous week. So this is something really interesting, because one, we're now distributing value that's not the native rainSpirit token. It's another token entirely, and two, it's effectively returning more value to rainSpirit holders, because if you think about it like proportionally, as users move from the rainSpirit staking contract over to start accepting bribes, the number of people in the rainSpirit staking contract are decreasing. Now fewer people are. So these weekly emissions that we're getting, that we're distributing to the stakers, is basically everyone's getting a bigger slice of the pie. That's the way we see it. And meanwhile, those who are choosing to collect bribes are very happy collecting them. So this is the system that we've built in order to return this added value to holders, and it's really their choice as to kind of where they want to direct their funds each week to collect this value.
Yeah, I can see that you guys have put a lot of thought, and I have seen it in action, because I have seen your votes mattering a lot, to the protocols that bribed you directly, as in you directly, I mean the rainSpirit holders that staked it. Basically, I have seen it move, and I am excited to see how much other WinSpirit protocols also try to implement this, or how much you guys will develop upon this. But it is really good to see.
Yeah, I think just the other week, we were voted, we were ranked the highest WinSpirit fork distributing the highest APR. So that was that's exactly what we had in mind when we built this system, giving the most rewards possible, and that's what we aim to maintain. And I think this question will probably come up, as I know I've seen it in the chat a couple times. But what we're doing is, each week as we collect these bribe amounts, we are determining the APR to distribute such that it's a competitive rate compared to any other option out there. And we may not distribute all of the bribe tokens we receive in any given week, but what we do with the remainder is we put them in basically a rainSpirit treasury. And this is something that is for rainSpirit holders. It's meant to basically ensure the long-term support of rainSpirit holders of the entire Agola ecosystem, and it gives us a little bit of flexibility to one, ensure that there's these constant rewards being distributed on a longer time scale, and we can make sure that the APR stays high. And in addition, we can also consider putting it to other uses, such as staking it or farming with it, or doing low risk methods so that it generates yields and ultimately replenishes the treasury so that we can distribute more value to our holders. But again, this contract, which it's totally public, there's nothing hidden about it. Any rainSpirit holder can see exactly how much value is being built up for rainSpirit holders. So I think the treasury approach is a strong one, because instead of just like not having the forethought of rainy days, we call it, and pushing it all out now, we're trying to develop something sustainable. So that's kind of the concept of the treasury.
Yeah, so having a treasury set for like future valuations and like return to the holders is crucial in the long run, where you guys are trying to expand upon the like rainSpirit idea, basically, with Agola ecosystem and like the rainSpirit protocol as a whole.
Exactly, and I guess this is a good time to talk about what this expanded vision looks like. Because rainSpirit, like I said, it's a core component, but it's just the beginning. And what we're building towards is this as a lending network that will support the concept of borrowable governance power, borrowable voting power. So in this lending network, projects will be able to, again, borrow exactly the number of votes that they want. So having that transparency, there will be an interest rate model applied to it, so they'll know how much they're expected to pay for these votes, and it'll allow kind of this like fair method of price discovery, because through the demand for the supply and the demand for the voting power, we'll see kind of just how much a vote is valued at, like where that pricing will fall. And meanwhile, the interest that these borrowers are going to pay is somehow going to be directed to the people with the voting power. It's replacing the bribe mechanism, so that the value that would have typically been offered via bribes is now getting distributed to the voters, and they're still profiting while the projects are still acquiring the voting power that they're seeking.
Look, sorry. I am looking forward to how that will expand the use case of rainSpirit, as we are seeing some glimpses of it through the last couple of weeks with some protocols bribing rainSpirit holders directly, via you guys, and like I can't wait to see how much it will improve rainSpirit, both in like as an ecosystem as a whole, the Agola ecosystem, and like the elephant in the room, the price action of rainSpirit has been like not very ideal, because like of the solid imbalance pool, where everyone like you had to put like 3x rainSpirit with 1-to-3 ratio, and that after the APRs died and the project is starting to crumble, in my opinion. I am surprised that this is the result, because like as you said, rainSpirit holders can get bribed directly, so like it is more like cheaper to buy, like better to buy rainSpirit instead of Spirit directly at the moment, because of the access to bribes and it being liquid.
Yeah, we have a nice community of members who are really taking advantage of the price now, and they're getting in because you know that the ultimate goal with rainSpirit is to build an ecosystem around it, and one that provides enough functionality, like we've been talking about, and profitability to holders, so that it will drive the organic demand for the token. And when people see the power behind any token, and they see the use cases, and they see that it can earn them money, this puts buy pressure typically on a token. So we're our main goal here is just to build functionality for rainSpirit, and that's what we're aiming to do. We have a few other pieces of the Ogola ecosystem in the works that will ultimately help the rainSpirit as a whole. One of which we're launching fairly soon, and those are our LP farms, boosted LP farms. So similar to other LP farms, will allow a user who provided liquidity to take their LP token, stake it in the farms, and using our in-spirit balance, we'll be able to acquire the maximum boost that comes with this heavy in-spirit balance, and we'll be able to distribute the boosted rewards back to those staking in our LP farms. So one thing that's kind of unique about our boosted LP farms, of course, the first is that we're offering the maximum boost of 250% from the get-go. But the other one is that we're going to start these LP farms by rewarding users in Spirit token, and that's pretty
your
unique.
voice is decreasing a bit. Can you if you are away from the microphone, move closer?
Is this better now?
Yeah, this is much better.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. So I was just starting to say that while we're paying out these boosted APRs, we're going to be starting by paying them out in Spirit tokens, which is pretty unique because a lot of the other boosted farms on other WinSpirit forks, for example, are not distributing a token that's native to the SpiritSwap ecosystem. They're typically taking their the spirit that's earned through these boosted farms, and they're using it to compound their own in-spirit position. And they're distributing their native token, which might be okay, but it's leaving users, the farmers, with something completely outside of the SpiritSwap ecosystem. So we're correcting that by providing the maximum spirit. In the future, we might also distribute rainSpirit, which will of course take the spirit token that we're getting and use it to buy rainSpirit to distribute. So this is a potential some buy pressure, but this is a thought for down the road.
Yeah, should be later, in my opinion, as well. I can get the boosted LPs being so very valuable for your ecosystem because you're offering bribe service as well, in quotation marks, where if you put the protocols that bribe you as an LP pool, boosted LP pool, you will be it will be double dipping you, because people will bribe more because they want to get to the boosted LP farms, and your votes will be much more valuable for rainSpirit holders as well, because they will both be getting bribes and increased returns through the boosted pools.
Yeah, 100%. The whole system is designed to create these synergies with projects and align all of the products that we're creating, the boosted LP farms, the voting as a service, bribing as a service, and ultimately the lending network that we're building towards. So yeah, good point.
Yeah, looks great. I want to ask what's down the road for you guys. Like we have discussed lengthy about rainSpirit and like the future road plans for that. But regarding your protocol on its own, what are your future roadmaps?
Well, we're always looking to strengthen our relationship with our current partners. Like I mentioned before, we have some strong features in the pipelines with SpiritSwap, which I think fully.
Yeah, we can't mention it. Yeah.
But we also have some other exciting features, like, for example, stakeable token markets. You know, this is a feature we've been building, which will allow users to deposit a stakeable token into the lending network. They can still collect the rewards that come with staking that token as normal, but now in addition, they're able to use it as collateral to borrow against. So that's something exciting. Another cool feature is our leveraged LP positions, essentially allowing users to list an LP as collateral, and let's say they put $5,000 of an LP token as collateral. They can leverage it, borrow $10,000 against it, and then it'll cycle back to acquire more of the LP and put it back into the lending network. So this is the leveraged LP functionality that we're building out. Another exciting feature coming soon. So in addition to the features we're building, both for our current partners and for some onboarding partners, we're always looking to expand partnerships. We've been growing quickly. I think we're at 100. We're over 100 million TVL. We're, I think, on 5 or 6 different blockchains, and we're always looking for for what's next. So it's exciting times for Ola Finance, and we're looking forward to the future. We're looking forward to strengthening our relationship with SpiritSwap as well.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Like I am kind of upset, disappointed that we can't mention the whole things going up under the hood.
I know, me as well.
Yeah. So, let me talk about the borrowable voting power that your guys have been mentioning regarding rainSpirit. How does that look like?
Yeah, so I will say the full design isn't built yet. We're still kind of working out some of the minor mechanisms, but essentially, borrowable voting power looks like a project who wants to acquire the voting power comes along into the borrowing side, and the collateral that they would otherwise normally have to put up becomes the bribe value. So essentially all right, let me back up. Sorry, let me back up.
Yeah.
A project coming in, first of all, who would normally have to deposit an over collateralized amount in order to borrow a lot of voting power. We're working to firstly make this require a lot less collateral. This will be done through most likely through a special contract that involves the voting power being locked, because it's only being used for a specific purpose, which is to vote. It reduces the risk, the concern of basically a user being able to take it outside of the lending network and kind of run off with it. So we're going to use this use-specific contract to allow a project to borrow voting power with a lot less collateral than they normally would be required to borrow with. Then, now that they have this voting power, there is going to be interest that gets generated from the borrow position. This interest will likely be accumulated in the rainSpirit token, because that is the token that they're borrowing, and through this interest, they will be returning value to the projects that are or to the users that are lending out the voting power. Now, yeah. I don't want to get into the specifics, because I know people are questioning. They're wondering why, like how lenders can give the voting power if the current iteration of rainSpirit doesn't actually hold like the power to vote. It just holds the ability to collect bribes if you had voted. So I understand that that's like probably the big question, but rest assured, we're developing a system where users will be able to tap into the voting power of the rainSpirit token. This will be an option alongside of collecting the value of bribes that can also be received. So more to come on this, but that's a little sneak preview.
Yeah, thank you, because like I have seen some questions regarding this from our beloved moderator, CryptoApe as well. He was wondering how that was gonna work. And I was wondering it as well.
I think it's the most anticipated event of the year. And everyone's looking forward to the second rollout of the Ola ecosystem. So in the meantime, we're just trying to provide as much value with the current mechanisms of rainSpirit and bribe pools and staking pools as possible.
Yeah. Are you guys looking as Ola Finance, Ola ecosystem as a whole to acquire more governance power from different protocols, or will you be like focusing on rainSpirit and SpiritSwap exclusively?
Well, it's actually very interesting that you mention that, because ultimately, Ola Finance we're technology providers. We build things such as lending networks that can be applied in different scenarios and across different chains for different partners. So one of the interesting things about this whole Ola ecosystem, and this idea of a lending network for borrowable governance power, is that it's not just isolated to the SpiritSwap ecosystem. While rainSpirit, of course, is the SpiritSwap native variant of the rainSpirit token, the transferable V token. While that's the case, there is going to be a lot more applications in basically any other project that has bribing mechanisms that suffer from potentially the same transparency issues, where the bribers aren't sure exactly how many votes they're going to get. They're not sure the cost per vote. They want better price discovery for their votes. So it's a system that can be applied elsewhere. And that's definitely something we're looking forward to.
Yeah, because I'm looking forward for our partners to grow and become stronger. I believe there are some good opportunities as well in like SpiritSwap. Obviously, I'm biased, but other governance tokens and like vote powers and bribes can be valuable down the line. Can't argue with that.
Definitely not.
Well, like I am scouring some community questions, which are like there are some great suggestions as to like how to people are mostly concerned about the price action, but I am sure we have discussed it lengthy enough, because with your the product coming down the line, it should be quite easily fixed, I think, in the long term or in the medium term even.
Yeah, I know that this is like a point of concern for a lot of people, is the peg, and I hope we made it clear that our goal is to build an ecosystem that provides utility and profitability, and that will ultimately be the best thing for the peg. But to that extent, I am going to say a few additional words on it as far as measures that we have implemented, because we do care about the peg. This is not something that we want to just totally dismiss. So to that extent, first of all, we disabled the rainSpirit minter, so that while the peg is beneath 1-to-1, users who want to acquire rainSpirit are going to be directed to buy it from the market. So that's one big step we took, and that was, I think, based off of like some community discussion and recommendations. So we're very in tune to our community, and we want to support them. So we thank the community for that one. So another thing we're doing, I think I also mentioned this already, but the weekly Spirit emissions that are going to Spirit holders, those are being used to buy back rainSpirit from the open market. And in addition, bribes that we are receiving, stable coins, some of that is also being used to buy back rainSpirit from the open market. So users who are rainSpirit holders will probably notice that there are no stable coin bribe pools, even though we are collecting some stable coin bribes, as can be seen in the rainSpirit treasury. But what's happening is we're taking some of those stable coins and we're buying rainSpirit, and then that rainSpirit is being distributed in addition to those weekly Spirit emissions in the rainSpirit staking contract. That's kind of another little bit of buy pressure there, and then in the near future, I think we talked about the boosted farms. And then even a little farther out, we have the lending network with the borrowable governance power. So both allow avenues for additional revenues to be created and actually buy back rainSpirit with those revenue streams as well. So all of this on top of the ultimate goal of a borrowable governance power lending network and the current functionality of rainSpirit. This is what we're driving for.
Yeah, like I said it before, like it's very cheap to like market buy rainSpirit and be a part of the bribes and the emissions incoming, because like it's cheaper than to buy directly Spirit and locking it at the moment, because of the like you guys can like use the peg like loss of peg as an advantage if you're looking to invest in SpiritSwap ecosystem, as you guys will provide the boosted farm LPs where you get like Spirit in return, and the bribe system will be like jacked up when people see that like it's easier and in terms of cheaper to like just get rainSpirit and be like exposed to the bribes ecosystem. So I'm sure, as I said before, like the price action should be a short term because of the like unbalanced pools of Solidly mostly. Again, those
solidly emissions really I think got some people who were not expecting the drop in emissions, even though it was it was like public knowledge. I think people, like if you wanted to look into it, you could have known that the emission schedule of Solidly had this drop off. But unfortunately, we had a lot of people aped in. It's both unfortunately and fortunately, but this is kind of like a cause and effect. These things happen. Now we're in a position where we're just doing what we know to do, build this ecosystem out. In the long term, that's the best we can do.
Like I am like a bit upset with myself for like asking these short-term visioned questions, but I get that it's a community concern as a whole, so I have to address this somewhat.
No, of course. We're here for the community.
Yeah. I am like out of the rainSpirit protocols. I can see obviously rainSpirit being the most innovative with its functions. So like it's one of the best ones out there, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot coming from a SpiritSwap team member. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything you want to add before we start to wrap this up? Any community questions you saw worth exploring, or something I missed?
Sure. I can take a quick look at the community questions. In the meantime,
while you are taking a quick look, let me do my plug-in as to we are my team members really bash me in the head if I don't do this. Guys, we are with Ola Finance, which one of our rainSpirit partners. They have rainSpirit. You guys, if you have InSpirit, consider rainSpirit to be an alternative buy. Also, if you have InSpirit, please don't forget to vote for your emissions to get access to these bribes that we have been mentioning over and over again. Also, if you see any snapshots, feel free to be voting them also, because we want your voice to be heard to move on to a full DAO ecosystem.
Sweet. Thank you for the good plug. I'm still kind of scrolling. I do see one. I think you did mention the bribe UI that was being rolled out with P2. So I'm not dropping the ball on this one. But someone asked how would rainSpirit feature factor into this bribe UI. And it's a good question because currently we are basically accepting projects are approaching us directly to purchase this voting power, and there was a desire for I won't say increased transparency, because we are very transparent about it, but a desire for more frequent information being provided by us as to which pools we voted in and how much of each token we collected, and basically a more detailed weekly report, we can say, which we definitely heard that request. So tying that into the UI, ultimately our goal here is to build out the lending network. This whole private bribe situation is just a mid step, but it's worth considering maybe kind of building out our own UI. Although I don't know if it's going to be something that happens in such a short term, while we're really pushing for the actual lending network. So that's just addressing that bribe UI question.
A question I saw from our moderator, who is probably hopefully recording this as we speak. Are you interested in getting a protocol-owned liquidity of rainSpirit Spirit pair, where you can boost it also with your InSpirit, if it moves to boosted farms, basically, and that can accumulate even more rewards?
Yeah, it's actually something we thought about. Again, we're building up this treasury for rainSpirit holders, and this could be a potential use case where use some of the treasury to provide liquidity, get the boost, exactly as you're saying, and that's it would be a good way for us to generate revenue, more rewards for rainSpirit holders. So something we're certainly open to. I would say in general, we're open to community suggestions and community requests. Well, I guess really just community suggestions regarding best ways to leverage the treasury and preferred features for rainSpirit holders. An ear is always open. So thank you to the recorder for bringing that one up.
Anything else you want to add?
I think that's it for now. But maybe maybe there's room for a follow-up in the future as more features develop.
Yeah, after you guys like flesh out your Angola ecosystem, and we roll out the V2 and like the things escalate, then we can have a follow-up AMA as to how things are going.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds good to us. And thank you for having us on the Ola team here. Always a pleasure to partner up with you guys and have the opportunity to speak.
If you guys have any further questions, don't ask me, ask them. He has the ambassador role from Ola Finance, so you can like quickly see from the right side chat bar as to which guy to manage DM basically, or just join their Discord. And ask your questions there, because I'm as clueless as you guys are.
We're on Discord, we're on Telegram, we're in your Discord, we're on Twitter. You guys can find us. Ola Finance, you know the name.
Thank you guys for joining from Ola Finance, and also to the audience that bear with me the like an hour long basically AMA. Thank you guys for your patience and your good questions.